Okay, so this is half of 1.13 translated. So first you're gonna have to label everything, otherwise you're not gonna know what you're doing because case uses are important. So let me just label everything really quick. Okay, so now that everything's labeled, we can explain why they are the cases that they are. So this, the quid, I think comes from the, no, it doesn't, never mind, disregard that. This is a verb, quid est Catalina, that translates as what is Cataline. Num dubitas, surely not. Num is surely not. Dubitas is a verb because of the s ending, so it's going to be second person. Id is nominative. Then you bracket this because it's me, imperante, and those two agree. And they're a participle. So you have an infinitive here, so I think this is an indirect statement. Then we have bracketing here because of the quad. This is accusative, nominative, ablative, and this is a verb, which is imperfect because it's got the ba ending right there. Then you've got exire, which is an infinitive. It means to come or to go. ex urbe, we have that bracketed because ex means from, so we have from the city, and that's ablative. Ubet is a verb that's going to be third person singular, so he, she, it. Consul is nominative, and hostem accusative. Interrogos, verb. Me is I, that comes from ego. Me, mihi, me, that thing. Num means if, and then you bracket the in. Exilium, because that's a preposition. Exilium is ablative, even though it looks accusative. So then we've got non-eubeo, bracket that, because these two go together. This eubeo is ablative, this sed means but, and then you're going to bracket this here. So this looks like, what is that called? This looks like a conditional because of the C, but there's no subjunctive endings, so it can't be a conditional. So you're just going to use this as if with none of the subjunctive translation. None of the subjunctive translation. So me is genitive, accusative, or ablative. Consulis, verb, suadeo, ablative. So assuming this is ablatives because these two might agree. And then we move on to the second part. Quid est enim. Actually, before we do that, let's translate. So we've got, what is Catiline? Surely you don't doubt that with me having been ordered, anyone you now made of your own free will. Question mark. Of your own free will? The consul order that you and the enemies leave the city. You ask me whether in exile, not command, but if I ask your advice, I will urge. I was confused on that last part, maybe because I was lost on the conditional or not conditional, so I wouldn't credit me with that translation. So moving on to the second part of the first part of 1.13. Got quid est again from up here, so we have what is again, but enim means namely, so we're going to have what is namely Catiline. Catiline is nominative, we've got the A ending, and it's capitalized, we know it's a name. Quod te iam. Te means you, iam means how, or now. In hac urbe, so you're going to bracket that because it's a preposition, and you don't stop the bracket at hac, because that is not a substantial enough word to have the bracket in. And then urbe, I forgot to label that, but that is ablative because of the E ending. Delectare is an infinitive because of the ARE ending. Possit is a verb, so these two are going to go together. The verb will come first, and then the infinitive will come after. In qua, that's bracketed, another preposition. Nemo, or nemo, ablative. Est, that's a verb. Extra istam, ablative, accusative. Coniorationem is accusative. So both these are accusative, so they probably agree. Perditorum, I keep saying these wrong. That's genitive because of the orm ending. Omnium, accusative, and then qui te non metuat, that's a verb, T ending, third person singular. Nemo, again ablative, and then qui non oderet, bracketed these because they are going to go together, and oderet is a verb. So now to translate. Again, don't credit me, I don't think this is very good, but what is namely Catiline, which you now in this city are able to please? In any is no one beyond that conspiracy of yours, of degenerate men. Any of you do not fear, no one does not hate. So that is my translation of half of 1.13 or 1.14. Thanks for watching, I guess.